Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. If you are a twin flame or you consider yourself to be on a twin flame journey, I hope you know that through this community here, you are so seen, understood, and supported always. You are never alone on this journey, even if it feels that way at times. And my only goal through these twin flame readings is to reconnect you with your own soul's intuition. So as always, be sure to use your intuition to really determine which messages are for you and which may be for others. I will say that tonight, as I'm recording this reading, I do pre-record these readings, so I'm doing this the night before of the day that I'm posting this, but I'm feeling a lot of very intense, heavy emotions coming up tonight. So do let me know if any of you have been feeling that way as well. I'm curious to know if that's a collective energy. So I just started to shuffle the deck, and the appreciation card in the reverse came out here. I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit from this card here from the guidebook to get us started. Choosing gratitude. You may have gotten caught up in the prickly brambles of negativity, possibly even despair. Stuck in some of your problem patterns. Having some kind of a negative focus. I do feel that for some who are listening, especially those of you who may have felt these heavier or more intense energies that I am processing myself, I do feel that there could be this spotlighting of negative dynamics within the self, as often happens through twin flame connection, in order to do a deeper level purging and healing. As many of you know who have been following my channel for a while, I've been channeling a lot of information about what I've been calling this deep level spiritual detoxification happening energetically for twin flames around the planet. By the way, if you would like me to channel specific messages for you and your situation in this reading, be sure to like the video and also subscribe. Also, throughout the video, I will be channeling messages from both the masculine and the feminine, but please be aware these are just to describe energy dynamics. The divine masculine could be a female, whereas the feminine could be a male. These aren't necessarily labels tied to gender. They are, whoa, a card just came out as I was talking there. They are describing a kind of dominant energy within us. So woman holding a coin came out in the reverse here. Let's read a little bit about this card from the guidebook. Be aware that you don't have to let anyone else's negative vibration influence you at any time. Release any toxic connection and know that you are free to define yourself and value yourself no matter what. So I'm sensing this will apply very differently depending on your unique situation, and I am going to channel more specifics on this. I'm hearing a very intense message for someone listening. This won't be for everyone, but there could be someone who is in a period of physical 3D disconnect or separation from your twin flame at this time. And you may have felt guided or pulled into this time of separation because there was some kind of healing work that needed to be done within yourself or your twin or on your connection before you could come together in the 3D for some reason. And I feel like you're being told, trust your intuition, trust your guidance. Choose your highest good, because as you move towards your highest good, your twin flame, your true twin flame, always follows you there. Twin flame connection always deepens with your own self-development and self-growth. What else is going on here with this woman holding a coin reverse? I'm also hearing this may apply to someone in terms of some kind of karmic connection coming up here, either for you or for your twin flame. This could be literally a karmic connection in the form of a third party or a person who is somehow presenting this kind of perceived interference in the physical aspect of your twin flame relationship or connection in the physical. This could also be some kind of negative thought pattern or behavior pattern within the self. But I do see this could possibly center around the sacral chakra. The second chakra in reverse came out here. This tells me there could be something coming up here related to fear of intimacy or closeness emotionally and physically. I heard fear of abandonment. So there could be a kind of push-pull dynamic going on right now in someone's connection, where one is really desiring this deepened emotional intimacy, and the other is being really distant or closed off in some sense, fearing this greater emotional intimacy. So it's creating this kind of push-pull dynamic, because both the one who is considered the pusher or the chaser and the puller or the runner, in this situation, they are actually both imbalanced in some way in the sacral chakra. They are both in their own way afraid of something. They have some fear here. I do want to see if I can channel more specifics. What is this fear coming up here? What is this fear connecting with intimacy or the sacral chakra? Seventh chakra in the reverse position. Disconnection from the divine, from their true soul path in some way. I heard that when this fear of intimacy or this intimacy block comes up, whether you are the person in this situation who is pushing for more intimacy or withdrawing, regardless, this sacral chakra imbalance, I feel when this comes up, it's so triggering that it really causes this person to feel disconnected from their higher self, from their intuition. It really throws them for a loop when they feel this way. It's because this is a very deep-seated and actually unconscious kind of wound here in the sacral chakra. By unconscious, I mean that most likely it was first formed either early in life or in some kind of early formative relationship experience. And at this point, it's been so accepted as an emotional pattern that it becomes absorbed into the subconscious. This also means that it must be addressed and released through the subconscious mind as well. So for this releasing practice and rebalancing of the sacral chakra, I would recommend a sacral chakra activation subliminal meditation that I've created myself. This is really designed to clear out these negative blocks in the sacral chakra, to activate it to its most highest frequency state of being, and to really allow you and your twin to form more safe, secure, intimate, emotional, and physical bonds through this deep-seated sense of safety, security within, from which you can then connect with one another. Because until you reach that point, twin flames, when they have this sacral chakra imbalance, will continue to pull one another to trigger this, in one, a fear of greater intimacy, and in the other, a desperation for this external validation through this manifested intimacy, because each are not finding that stability within themselves and they're mirroring that back to one another. So if that sounds like your situation, this sacral chakra activation will be linked in the pinned comment and description. This comes from my website, soundandsoulful.com. So I will be showing a screen recording right here on the screen, just showing you how you can navigate around my website. This really is my soul passion project. I use my own subliminals every single day, and I've been using them since last November to really deeply reprogram my subconscious mind, and it has transformed every area of my life. So I have over 100 subliminals on this website. You can see some of the different categories on the screen, such as mood, appearance, manifestation, material manifestation, love and relationships, twin flames, and so much more. So you can check out the link to this sacral chakra activation in the pinned comment or description. You can also try out any subliminal I've created completely free for 7 days by creating a free trial account on my website. And again, that's all linked below. The cards Walking Away and Blossoming Abundance in reverse. They're both in reverse here. This tells me that I feel on one side of the situation, someone is, I heard walking away for fear of being walked away from, or pushing away for fear that the other is going to push away from them. On the other side of this, I see someone feeling a bit of desperation because they feel as though this person or connection is slipping through their fingers. So take whatever piece of that resonates with your situation. I do channel a lot of different energies through these readings. Door to value in the upright position. I heard, you don't know how valuable you are to me. This may be because the person I'm connecting with here may not be very verbal about speaking on how much the other means to them. I do want to see if I can get more information. I also heard something of value will come out of this. Something unexpected of value will come out of this painful or challenging situation. What is this benefit or this value from this difficult situation? Of course, communicate clearly. I heard blocks are being healed, facilitating 3D communication. I specifically heard for someone who is experiencing some kind of a silence with their person, where communication seems to be lacking or a bit muddy in the physical world. This isn't just happenstance. There's actually a reason for this. It might feel like communication is a bit blocked. I heard mixed signals or like a scrambled radio signal. It's like neither of you feel as though you're coming through clearly to the other, or there is literally a lack of communication in some way, or misunderstandings or something like that. Communication may be a bit challenging or heavy or muddy at this time. And I'm hearing the actual reason that you may be experiencing that is because these sacral chakra blocks have to be healed. This deep-seated fear of intimacy, or this need for external validation leading to this desperation for manifested intimacy. Again, I feel those two sides of this coming through. But this must be healed and fully rebalanced before the communication between the two of you can be healed in the physical. And until then, things are going to feel a bit muddy, confusing, or closed off. The World card reversed. This represents a kind of closing off, but this is actually a sacred time of this deeper level healing. I heard someone left a comment under my Q&A post on my Patreon page. Thank you, by the way, if you're listening for this comment, and this will be featured in a future Q&A video that I'm going to do on this channel to answer some of the questions people have asked on the Patreon Q&A post. But this person was asking about how it seemed like there was another stage between running and chasing and union, because it felt like between those two stages there was this kind of conscious separating and then coming back together and healing, and then separating and healing. But it was, the way the person described it, it was much more conscious, much less this unconscious triggering of running and chasing, and much more, okay, we need to heal, we're choosing to separate, and then we're coming back together. And I loved this question. It was so insightful and interesting because I really do resonate with the idea that twin flames, as they become more conscious and spiritually awakened and aware of this journey, it really does shift from this running and chasing whenever they feel this triggering to more so coming closer into a more stabilized union, but still having times where they must separate for periods of time, even if this means going to separate rooms in the same house, or one of them going out for a walk in nature, or going to meditate. Having these times of sacred space of separation in the physical that are intended and very conscious in order to allow the integration of new energy, to allow this healing of new triggers or wounds that could have surfaced during their 3D interactions. And the only reason I'm bringing all of that up is because I feel that the way that person described it in their question, that separating and then coming back together and healing and then consciously choosing to separate again, I feel like that really very closely describes the kind of dynamic I'm picking up on from someone in their twin flame here. The words July, duty, and halfway came out. I specifically heard with duty, I heard active duty, like military. And with halfway, I also heard halfway house. There could be someone that was struggling with some kind of addiction or something like that. I'm just reshuffling the energy oracle cards. Like I said, there are a lot of very intense energies coming through right now, so I'm trying to clearly channel the messages as best as I can. I would also love if you get a chance to leave me a comment either in the live chat if you're watching this live or in the comments section, letting me know how you are feeling this week, just checking in with the collective. I am just so grateful for this really beautiful community we're building here together. So as I was shuffling, the world reversed came out here. So clearly I'm being guided to speak a little bit more on this closed off period of time. I just keep hearing like someone being distant or someone kind of closing off. So I'm now speaking to someone who is experiencing a situation with their twin where it seems as though they are a bit distant or closed off in some way. Why is this person's twin flame distant or closed off? Oh, and this was another thing I was going to say. This is maybe what I was being guided to say. This is back on the point of communication. I feel this is important to speak on now. But twin flames actually communicate predominantly energetically, not through their words. Now, this may sound very simple, but it's actually very confusing, as many of you know, in the physical world when you are physically communicating with your twin. Because let's say that you are feeling very closed off energetically, very triggered energetically. You're really processing something. If you are in physical relationship with your twin and you try to reach out to them and act like everything's normal and fine, you may be saying all of the right literal words, but your twin flame isn't really hearing your words. What they're hearing and picking up on and registering is all of that energy that you're sending to them, which in this case is very blocked, unbalanced energy. This is part of why twin flames can look like a toxic connection at times to outsiders, because twin flames have a tendency to at times become suddenly distant or to act suddenly very different with one another when on the surface their interactions appear to be the same or positive. And the reason for this is because, again, they are responding predominantly to one another's energy, not to their physical actions, not to the words that they say, not even to the silence. A lot of people think, well, if I just stop talking to my twin, then they'll start talking to me again. And we assume at times that that is the definition of surrender, just simply being silent, ghosting them and then getting them to talk to you. And the thing is, in traditional dating, sometimes that will actually work because you aren't in as much energetic communication with the other person in typical 3D based relationships. So when you stop communicating in the physical with them, they just sense that you're gone. And a lot of times then they will start reaching out to you. The reason this kind of whole dating game strategy doesn't work with twin flames is because you and your twin flame never started or stopped communicating energetically. You may have had a start to your physical communication in the 3D and certain breaks of time where you may not have communicated as much through your physical words and through 3D mediums, but you've always been energetically connected and you communicate through your energy that you exchange with one another. So again, this really gets complicated when it comes to traditional concepts of dating and relationships because you and your twin flame are always unconsciously responding to each other's energy, not to physical words and actions. So I'm going to see if there's anything else I can speak on this. Harvest moon fruition. I heard completion, the completion of a cycle. What cycle is being completed here? Also, while we're speaking on energetic communication, this is also why, although I do recommend energy clearing, daily energy clearing rituals for absolutely everyone, regardless of whether you are a twin flame or not, because we do all absorb and store negative energies from our past experiences, even inner child experiences, from environments around us, especially those of us who are highly sensitive. But as empaths, not just empaths, but as twin flames, having an energy clearing ritual daily is absolutely essential because, again, as a twin flame, not only are you absorbing these energies from your environment and even having negative energetic patterns, as we all do, from your past experiences as well, but now also in this very dynamic, highly responsive, highly emotionally charged situation with your twin flame, there is this constant responding back and forth happening as a result of that energy in order to bring to light those patterns and assist you in healing them, in shifting them, and transmuting them. However, through the process, this can be really painful if we aren't fully conscious of and clearing out these negative patterns within us. So this is why I've created a 7-chakra twin flame clearing subliminal. This is my most comprehensive twin flame energy clearing subliminal. It's a great place to start if you are new to meditation or subliminals in general. Oftentimes I will just listen to this in the morning and clear my mind, allow any negative thoughts or vibrations to just be released and just allow my vibration to rise. And I always do feel as though after listening to this, I've taken some kind of energetic bath and my vibration is always so much higher, especially in regards to my twin flame connection. So if you'd like to try it out, the link to the 7-chakra twin flame clearing is also in the pinned comment and description. So as I was speaking there, and I wanted to talk about what was coming to fruition, the completion of this cycle, 2 very powerful cards came out here. The first card is grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. And grief is now shifting into the abundance card. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. I also heard total empowerment, total self-empowerment. I heard a shift from being unconsciously stuck in some kind of a victim mentality, feeling very powerless, grieving these past versions of the self, processing, energetically purging, detoxifying these deep-seated wounds, perhaps that could even be unconscious, as I spoke on these unconscious negative patterns we can store, shifting from all of that into this total recognition of yourself as this highly spiritual, highly spiritually attuned and sensitive, empathic, limitless being, as this card says, to become the all-powerful creator of your life, to realize that you are exercising full control over your life experience and within your connection, that you are now empowered to shift these negative patterns and dynamics that are causing you to play out this physical 3D triggering back and forth. Another card that came out here is envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. I also heard ego death. I feel this going along with the grief card. One of the most powerful shifts that twin flames collectively are here overcoming on the planet is this shift from division consciousness, from seeing self as totally separate from others, as elevating the self above others even, to a collective consciousness, connected consciousness. So with this envy card, I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. I see someone in this connection, potentially a divine masculine, through a deepening of his awakening, developing greater levels of empathy, meaning developing a level of understanding of how energetically connected he is with others and with
with the world generally, I do feel that I'm picking up on a specific masculine who may be very materially or career or physically focused. He may be what we consider to be the matrix-oriented twin. And because of this, I feel that he has struggled with this division consciousness. I heard lone wolf. I feel like this masculine could have struggled with seeing himself as very separate from those around him to the point of causing him to feel isolated. But now with the 7th chakra, the crown chakra, coming out in the upright position, through the deepening and intensifying of his spiritual awakening process, this feeling of separateness, this division consciousness in his energy is being shifted into connected consciousness, collective consciousness, is really being up-leveled at this time. So I'm going to get some messages from both the divine feminine and divine masculine side. So what is going on with the divine feminine at this time in the 3D? You guys know who watch my readings. I do like to separate the 3D, more physically oriented messages from the 5D, the higher self, what is really going on beneath the surface energetically, because very often these two perspectives expressing themselves within us, this 3D consciousness and 5D consciousness, can be very different between us and our twin flame. So what is going on with the divine feminine in the 3D? Confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. I instantly connected this card to solar plexus chakra energy. This is interesting because I was doing a kind of casual reading earlier just to check in with the energies of the collective, and the solar plexus card came up multiple times, really indicating some kind of imbalance in regards to self-worth and self-confidence being healed here. There's been so many messages recently of the lower level chakra centers being shifted, the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus, all clearing out any negative blocks or blockages that have been unconsciously stored in those energy centers within the energy body in order to create what I call a stabilized energetic union with our twin that can then manifest physically as well. But when it comes to this solar plexus chakra and confidence being at play here, I feel that there could be a divine feminine who has been struggling with feelings of self-worth. I heard this causes me to push in both directions. I'm going to get some more clarity on what that means, but I feel this divine feminine could be feeling at times like she's on some kind of seesaw where it's like she's either really kind of pushing, trying to make this connection work, really actively trying to almost like force it into being in the physical, trying to plan it or organize it or really actively create it. And then at other times, she just finds herself feeling triggered or hurt and thinking, I'm just going to pull away entirely. I'm just going to separate from this person. I don't need them. I'm done with this. I just hear someone saying like, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to be a twin flame. I can't do this anymore. Again, this won't connect with everyone, so only take it if it resonates. This could just be for one person who needs this. But whoever this is, they need to know, regardless of whether they are in this push space or this pulling, this withdrawing space, withdrawing into themselves, if they are moving from a space of being hurt or triggered, they aren't yet healed or balanced within themselves, specifically within this solar plexus. I feel both that pushing and pulling energy for this person is actually coming from the same root, a feeling of low self-worth or self-confidence in regards to this relationship or connection that is causing them to either really desperately need that external confirmation or those external labels and statuses for this connection, or alternatively to feel triggered, to feel hurt by this person or this situation in the physical, and then to withdraw into hyper independence, into strong separation, me versus you kind of consciousness. But either way, again, they're moving from this wounded space. And I'm hearing the middle path. The middle path is between both of those things. It is balance. It is having the confidence to both set the boundaries for yourself within your twin flame relationship, meaning the physical aspect of your twin flame connection. Because yes, we do have the free will to set boundaries, and sometimes we need to for our own self-worth, self-growth, healing process, or for our twin flame. So use your intuition in setting whatever boundaries you feel you need to set. This will also be something I'll be addressing in the Q&A video in a bit more detail, because this question did come up. But there's a balance I'm hearing between that and still acknowledging what your soul knows to be true about this person, about this connection. You can both know that and be confident in that knowing, as well as be confident in yourself and able to express your own needs clearly enough to set boundaries in the physical as you need to allow yourself and your twin flame to continue to heal. During this time of potential, again, there may be times for some of you where there is some kind of physical, emotional, or mental disconnect in the physical, but there's this balance that allows you to both fully understand, I am soul connected to this person. I know what this connection is. I'm confident about this connection. But also, I have the self-worth and the self-confidence to love myself fully, completely, to set boundaries where I need to in the physical, to allow this separation to be this sacred space of healing for both myself and my twin flame. That is the message I'm getting from this person. Again, this won't be for everyone, so only take what connects with you. The words iron and vertical came out here. I heard someone could be a welder. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. This has been a recurring theme for the Divine Feminine, but I've really felt a Divine Feminine who is really cultivating her creative faculties, like really using her abilities, her natural gifts to create, to do art, to express her soul in ways that are meaningful to her through mediums that are meaningful to her in the physical, whether that's writing, dancing, singing, painting, music, artwork, her work, her business, her passion. And I'm actually hearing this is the most powerful place to fixate your focus, care, and attention right now as a Divine Feminine, especially if you are in a space with your Divine Masculine where things do feel a bit confusing or blocked in regards to communication, or there's a bit of triggering going on back and forth, or an intense kind of purging emotionally taking place. It's really important that you focus your attention in those times on your creative gifts, on your self-growth, on your soul mission, your soul purpose here on this planet, on self-care, because all of that strengthens your mind, body, and soul, and actually allows you also to powerfully shift your energy, which of course the Divine Masculine unconsciously feels and responds to as well. The card Time to Move On came out here. It says, flow with the river, see where it takes you. Now I know that someone listening, their ego probably jumped in and was instantly like, this card is saying it's time to move on from my twin flame, it's time to give up on them. Of course, only your intuition really knows the answer, but be sure that your ego isn't jumping in with interpretations here, because for many people, I feel this card may not really be related to your twin flame, meaning the person, as much as time to release, time to move on from the negative patterns and dynamics within you that have been holding you back for so long. Time to release, to grieve those old versions of yourself who fit into those patterns and dynamics, and to become the most confident, self-empowered version of yourself, the most creative, passionate, soul-fulfilled, self-loving, magnetic version of yourself. If you're really struggling with this as a Divine Feminine, I've created a very powerful subliminal for fully realigning the Divine Feminine energies. This is called the Awakened Divine Feminine. It's created to fully balance your inner masculine and feminine energies, because we all do have a balance. It's just that if you identify as the divine feminine, you have a predominance of divine feminine energies within you that then comes together with your masculine's blend of energies in this perfect balance, this perfect harmony when you're united. So this subliminal is created to really uproot common blockages that prevent divine feminines from fully tapping into and embodying their full power. So meditating with this will assist you in reprogramming your subconscious so that you become the most empowered divine feminine goddess version of yourself, releasing all your doubts, fears, and insecurities that are preventing you from that. And truly, in essence, allowing you to become effortlessly magnetic for the things you desire, including manifested connection within your twin flame connection in the physical, if that is something you desire. Community in the upright position. I'm hearing through loneliness, you will realize that you are never alone. We have the false illusion of connectedness. Prior to spiritual awakening, prior to coming into conscious awareness of this twin flame path, because we are still plugged into this collective matrix full of a lot of negative programming that, although it may be negative, is very familiar to many others and causes them to feel a form of connection, a form of artificial unity with us based on these kinds of conditions. When we begin to cut ties to all of these matrix-based perceptions, beliefs, dynamics, negative patterns, when we begin to fully connect back in with and then radiate outward our true core soul frequency, what happens is all of those artificial connections we have formed through those matrix-based conditions and paradigms now begin to fall away. We begin to repel them, because we are now emanating a powerful signal to attract true, authentic soul connection. But of course, very often there is this lag of time between repelling everything that is not meant for us and all of the connections that are not meant for us, and fully attracting into the physical all of our most soulful, soul-fulfilling kinds of connections. Continue to radiate your authenticity anyway, even in times when you feel alone. Those who are like you will be drawn unto you. You have a more expansive soul family than you realize, and you may even be finding some of them here through this channel or through other channels like it, through online platforms. There are so many of you out there, meaning those who are coming into the consciousness you are coming into. But for a while in the physical, you may have times of loneliness. But again, through this loneliness, through having the courage to be alone, you are going to attract ultimately to yourself more fulfilling kinds of soulful connections, authentic connections than ever before. So now I'm going to speak to the divine masculine. By the way, in the Patreon version of this reading, the extended version, I will be channeling the higher self-love messages from both the masculine and the feminine to one another, as well as some more details and specifics about the energies as they're playing out right now between twin flames, both individually and collectively. So if you're interested in those extended messages, the Patreon link is in the pinned comment and description box. What is going on with the divine masculine? The words hurt, cage, and cool came out, and I instantly heard, I am hurt, so I am withdrawing. I am hurt, so I am retreating. In my retreating, I feel trapped in my own self-created withdrawal or isolation from you, divine feminine, and yet I am withdrawing because I know I am wounded. I know I'm hurt. And from this space of woundedness, I am also on some level aware that I'm causing this triggering to go back and forth between us. I could be causing hurt to you. So if you're a divine masculine, or if you are a divine masculine who is withdrawing, some of you may connect with this message. This won't be for everyone. This is just specifically for those of you or those in situations where the divine masculine has withdrawn himself a little bit or a lot, really depending on your connection, but to some degree in the physical, either emotionally, mentally, or physically. Or if he is doing this from time to time, I feel that he strongly wants the divine feminine to know that the reason he is retreating in the physical isn't because he doesn't value the connection, it's because he values it more than anything. And because of such a high value he places on this beautiful divine connection, he also realizes on some level he must show up for this connection. He must be healed within himself to sustain this connection, because otherwise there is, of course, this triggering that goes back and forth when twin flames have blocked energy and then are trying to communicate so actively in the physical through these blocks. It's like trying to talk through a wall. They can't hear each other clearly because of how energetically in tune they are with one another. Those physical words matter so much less. So I really hope that does connect with whoever needs to hear it, but I am going to pull a few cards for this masculine as well. So what is going on with this divine masculine in the physical? Deceit in the upright position. I keep hearing, I'm hiding parts of myself that I am afraid are unworthy of love. What parts of himself is this divine masculine hiding in the physical? This could be part of why there could be a divine masculine who's withdrawing or turning in, closing off a little bit when he feels triggered or hurt, because it's like, I don't want to show the parts of myself that I am afraid you wouldn't be willing to or able to love. The parts of myself that I feel are unworthy of love. Patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. I feel this divine masculine asking the divine feminine to be patient. I feel this kind of higher self level message coming through, even though I did intend to speak from the 3D. I feel this masculine's higher self coming in to say, I'm hiding the parts of myself when I withdraw that I feel are unworthy of your love. So I'm asking you to trust the divine timing of my healing and of this connection, of the shifts taking place between us, and to have patience. Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. I heard self-deceit shifting into self-honesty, meaning like repressed parts of the self shifting into the light. I feel like that there may be aspects of himself this divine masculine has denied or hidden because as a child or in formative relationship experiences, these aspects of himself could have been rejected in some way. And so he learned to hide them, or whenever he felt them surfacing, he learned to just cut off, to withdraw himself, because he didn't want these parts of him to be seen. I just keep hearing, like, I don't want you to fully see me because I don't want you to hate what you see, to turn away from me. But through these periods of what may look like withdrawal in the physical, I feel like this masculine is becoming more conscious of these repressed aspects of self, these shadow aspects and these dynamics, and they are being brought into the light of consciousness, shifting from that self-repression, self-deceit in essence, into greater knowledge of self, greater consciousness, and therefore the ability to connect in the physical more consciously, to show up more consciously within this connection. And what else is going on with this masculine in the physical? The month of May came out in the word scramble, also the words symbol and declared, if that connects with you in any way. Breathe love into your life. Let love be your guide. Live a life from love, guided by love. I heard my hard edges are being replaced with a kind of softness, but this is a slow process. Be patient with me. I put up these defenses, these hard edges to begin with because I was afraid of fully showing you every aspect of myself, letting you see behind those walls. I'm asking you to be patient with me. Let us be guided by our love, day by day, step by step. Even at times when it feels like we're walking through the darkness, let us continue to follow our love, even when it feels we're following it blindly. Let us trust in the blindness. Let us trust our sixth sense, our intuition, our ability to know what we cannot know, to see what we cannot see, even through this darkness, even through our own blindness at times in the physical. Let's see if I can get one Rumi Oracle card from this Divine Masculine. Whirling Goddess, Layla. Two cards actually came out here. So I'm going to read the poem from the Whirling Goddess card. Lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. Come, my love, are you dizzy yet? If you can still find your feet, then that is okay with me. But if you can still find your head, then I will take issue. There is a great dance, but it cannot be danced with choreographed steps. No, this great dance demands a response rather than an invitation, a reaction rather than a direction. So let us dissemble and lose our heads to the great music, the rhythm held steady in our beating hearts. Our feet shall be moving, whilst our minds, inadequate to the task, take the night off. There is somewhere you are meant to be. It is here, now, in this moment. Leave it be instead. Come dance with me. So I really hope that those messages connected with you in some meaningful way. And if they did, be sure to check out the extended version of this reading, where I will be channeling more details and higher self-love messages. All of that information is linked in the pinned comment and description, as well as all of the subliminal meditations I recommended throughout the course of this reading. You can try out any of the subliminals linked under this video when you create a free trial account on my website, Sound and Soulful. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your day, and I will talk to you again in Wednesday's reading.